Coming to your screen from San Francisco, California, the former executive director of San Francisco Suicide Prevention, and now she does comedy. Please welcome Eve Meyer. Woo, woo, woo.
Thank you. Thank you for those wonderful words, Lisa. And another big hand for Ryan Levine. So amazing. Wow. And you, how are you? God, you're so wonderful. There you are, gathered around the screen, like my family when they're trying to make a decision. Where have we gone on the annual reunion? Where are we going to go this year? My family, they all want to have lobster this year for the annual reunion, just like Lisa and her mom, but they don't want to go to the East Coast. So I thought, here's a solution. Everybody buys a lobster and they take it with them on the airplane. They put it under their seat, right?
Oh.
It doesn't pee. It doesn't steam. It doesn't fry. You can even go to PetSmart, get a tiny little collar and leash for them in case you have to go to the bathroom, right? And if people look at it, you explain to them it's a dachshund, but it's very sick right now. I know all about dachshunds. I have a dog that is half dachshund and half golden retriever.
Oh.
And people say to me, how did this happen? And I said, well, of course, it's very simple. There was a big party. A lot of chicken bones, a lot of cheese, a lot of wine, gummies, and the moon was full. And all of a sudden, both families realized there were puppies on the way. So what do? They ship the puppies to San Francisco, where they know that everything is tolerated. And where everything is tolerated, everything wonderful happens. And so we got one of the puppies. And he looks a lot like maybe a corgi that got shaved and painted yellow. Or a French bulldog that got stuck in a pasta machine. But the wonderful thing about him is the golden retriever part of him sings. You know how golden retrievers sing? So early in the mornings, he likes to take hold of the schedule. That's the dachshund part of him. Very German. So it's 7:15 every morning. How does he know it's 7:15? Is this Alexa? Is it Siri? What is it? He knows it is 7:15. He begins to sing. He sings to let us know it is the start of the day. And his song is all about the garbage people from Recology and how they bang their cans on the sides of the truck, the way their parents, their mothers and fathers, taught them to bang their cans on the sides of the trucks because they had to wake the city and start the beating heart of the city like their parents and their grandparents did. And he does not bark at the people who bang their cans on the trucks because he knows they will not hear him. Who he barks at is the ravens. We have sliding patio doors in every room in our house. And the dog patrols these sliding patio doors because there are ravens across the street. And they live in the trees. And the dog watches the ravens in the trees. And every time ravens cross the street and land on a street light, he unleashes his John Coltrane bark at them, and they ignore him. In fact, they tell him what they think of him and his John Coltrane bark. They turn around and they wag their tails at him because they know he will explode. And when he does explode, they fly into the air and they giggle and they come back down. During the day, he'll sing. He'll sing for his supper. He'll sing to have a tennis ball tossed at him. He'll sing to be let out on the deck and scare the hummingbirds. And anything he sings at, you can't stand to listen to him for long, least of all the hummingbirds. We have the Placido Domingo of dogs. And here we are in the middle of the Jewish New Year, as everybody has pointed out. It is Rosh Hashanah. It's a lunar New Year. So it either comes early or it comes late in the New Year. It's like a difficult relative. You can't prepare yourself for the holiday or the relative. You have to buy lots of deli food and you have to get anxious. They both stay at your house for 10 days or 10 nights, the holiday and the relative. And maybe there's prayer, whether you know it or not. And when it is over, they leave. And you are left with dishes and laundry and relief. The Jewish New Year is a time of self-study that Moses or somebody may have thought would keep the Jewish people from spending a lot of money on therapy for themselves and would corner the market on therapy for everybody else. You can picture Moses and Aaron with their arms folded and their heads tilted a little bit, nodding at each other for 50 minutes and looking at their watch at the end of it and saying, I think we have to wrap this up for today. A revelation. If we just make the children of Israel tremble and fast for 24 hours once a year, they can fix their own mishigas. And then for the rest of the year, they can fix everybody else's tourists all over the world for the other 364 days. So my family is in the mental health business. My father was a psychiatrist. That's how it all started. Actually, he was not a psychiatrist. He was a pediatrician. But he escaped from Germany, and everybody thought he was a psychiatrist because he had a German accent. They would introduce him as the famous German psychiatrist, Dr. Hans Meyer. And so that's what he became. He just went with the flow. And then my brother's wife, their kids, and their kids' kids, and most of my family looks like Golda Meir. Even some of the women. People think that if you have a family reunion of all therapists, they will all go, can you talk a little more about that? Not what happens at all. What happens is they say, what did you think when you bought that shirt? It makes you look like a dead oyster. Or they say, you're absolutely no good at tennis. You were never good at tennis when they invented tennis and even before that. You would think we would hurt each other's feelings, but no, not at all. We all talk at the same time. No one can hear. Nobody knows what anybody has said. But while we are talking, restaurants empty out. Public spaces empty out very quickly. We have the whole place all to ourselves all the time. This year, we are telling each other that at the reunion, it will be different. No more tie-dye t-shirts, okay? This year, we're getting a new design with actual Lithuanian dirty words. We're going to have a swimsuit contest. Just the swimsuits, not the bodies. For the little kids, we will have a prize for the best rap version of Beret Prihagofen and a trivia night. Who had the longest and the shortest labor at birth? Who would have gotten the Aunt Lucy blood ruby bracelet if all things had been equal in the beginning? Dog training trophies if the dogs don't run away this year. That's silly, I know it. But this is what comes of being in mental health. I mean, you listen to such stuff all day that at the end of the day, you just want to scratch your brain with worse stuff. And your computer helps. It sends you social media. It sends you politicians who are ending their careers because they think they can hit on their underaged interns. It sends you people who honestly ask, am I an asshole because I let the air out of all the tires of my new in-laws at my sister's wedding? I wanted to make it memorable. It's like licking the frosting bowl of life. And the post office is so good about this. Right after the end of summer come the envelopes. Feed the hungry once a year. This actually comes with a holiday song sheet. Doctors Without Boundaries. And my personal favorite, amnesty for children who are different. These people have greeting cards. All the times that we know people who could benefit for a 50-minute wrap-up, we think about them all the time. My husband is a very logical person, and he has assured me that we don't need to take care of everyone in the world. But it will be a lunar Jewish New Year, and then a solar secular New Year, and another Asian New Year. And then I want to see a health professional who does not tell me to get a hobby. This seems to be a meme for older women. And I tell them, I have a hobby. My hobby is I go to bars at night. And I walk around the bars and I get to know people. And then I stand up on some kind of a raised place in front of the bar. And I tell those people funny stories. That is my hobby. And that hobby, ladies and gentlemen, has brought me to you. And I am so grateful because you are the most wonderful audience in the whole wide world. And I'm gonna try to do this again tomorrow night. I've had so much fun. Thank you all so very much. You're so great. Good night.
Woohoo.
Cheered for Eve Meyer. Yay. I don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow night, but we won't. I can give you the link. You can whatever you'd like, but we're not going to be here.